Hey, hey, what's going on, everyone? It's KIM and SAV Kim out of Savannah, Georgia. And guys, I did a post a few moments ago, well, a few hours ago now. Time goes by so fast. Oh my goodness. But my business partner inboxed me an image today, and I'm gonna try to pull it up for you guys to show you. And it was a sign posted on the cash register, and it said, "Due to the government shutdown, we are, sorry for the inconvenience. WIC is currently unavailable due to the government shutdown." This was the image. Hopefully you guys can see it. So I put this on my Facebook page, and hey, what's going on, Will Jeffries? What's going on, Sonia? Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, it originally began as a Facebook Live, so please be patient with me because I may occasionally shout out people that join in real time. So I shared this image, and I said I shared it with the caption of I used to be on WIC, so this picture has a different significance to me than it probably does to you. And I said, my heart goes out to all the mothers and kids that are affected by this government shutdown. This is the reason why I will never stop sharing my opportunity. And let me just say this before I start with my story, guys. I've heard a lot of network marketers come on with a very, holier than thou, almighty knowing attitude, like the government shutdown is here, this is why y'all should have joined my company, this is why y'all should have listened to me, y'all should have prepared for this. And it's annoying. The last thing you ever want to do the last thing I ever would want to do is kick a person when they're down. So I know a lot of people that are very proud to work for the government, and then, they think that there's a lot of security in being a government employee. I'm sure they never saw this coming. So, to now try to force your opportunity upon someone with that type of arrogance, like, I know better than you, now look at you, to me is disgusting. So please, if you are in any type of work from home opportunity, don't do that. The last thing someone wants to hear when they're looking at not getting a paycheck and how they're going to figure out their bills is like a 90 boo boo person. Like, trust me, that's the last thing they want to hear. So anyway, guys, here's my story about me being on WIC. And I will say this. I used to be one of those people that look down on people on government assistance. Yes. Now, that's just me being honest. I didn't do it openly, but I did it in my head. I didn't realize until I was on government assistance that that's what I was doing. That I kind of had this attitude of, why don't they go out there and work? They're probably lazy. They need to stop having kids. And I didn't say those things. I didn't have those conversations. But like I said, it wasn't until I was on WIC that I realized that I had been thinking those things. And at the time that I was on WIC, I was 30 years old. I was pregnant with my first and only child. It took me 5 years to get pregnant. Every other woman in my family, I'm telling you, if you breathe on her, she gets pregnant. But me, no. I had some health issues, and I was pretty much to the point of thinking, well, maybe I'm just not going to have kids. And my husband at the time and I, we couldn't figure out what was going on. We went to see people and they couldn't figure out what was going on. I mean, well, yeah, my health issues, but it still should not have been that hard. So ironically enough, God has a sense of humor. Y'all know that, right? I actually got pregnant at a time when I was looking for a job, and it was very hard to find a job. This was in 2009 when, the economy was in a very bad recession. And this was super hard for me because I'm the type of girl that I started working when I was 15. Like, I got my worker's permit, went to the movie theater, and I was like, hey, I want to work here. Can you hire me? And Alan Smith was his name. He was like, can you start tomorrow? I said, I sure can. And I mean, I was working 2 jobs when I was in high school. I was in college working at 60 hours. I mean, I've always been not afraid of work and worked multiple jobs. So to be without a job was super hard for me. But to be without a job while pregnant at the age of 30 with a bachelor's degree in journalism, a master's degree in finance, and like I said, this is a child that I had waited for. This is a child that I had prayed for. That, it sent me into a depression. Like, my husband at the time didn't even know what to do with me. I withdrew in myself. I felt like I'm a bad mother before I even have my child. I can't even provide for my child. And it was horrible. And this was around the same time that 16 and Pregnant came out, that show. So I remember being on the phone one day with my little brother Richard, and I was telling him, because my brother and I are very similar. We both have no mercy on people. We tell like it is. So I was on the phone with Richard, and he's like, man, what you doing, Kim? What you doing with your life? And I was like, I'm just sitting here watching 16 and Pregnant. I was like, man, I'm just like these girls. I'm just like these girls. Because in my mind, I was like, they can't provide for their kid. I can't provide for my kid. They don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. And my brother was like, what? Girl, shut up. Them kids in high school, and they 16 and pregnant. The show is not called 30 and Pregnant and Married with a master's degree. You nothing like them girls. And I was like, I guess I'm not. But the fact, and bear with me, the fact that I had all those things and I still couldn't provide for my kid, it actually made me feel worse than if I didn't have those things. Does that make sense? So in my mind, if I were 16 and pregnant, then it's understandable. But when you're 30 and you've done what you think are all the right things, you know, from the outside looking in, it looked like I was ready for a child. But no. And then with my health issues, I had to go see a specialist every single month. So my pregnancy was more expensive than most. Anyway, get into the WIC story. So, I went to apply for WIC because somebody suggested that. Didn't want to do it, but I did. I went to apply for WIC, and so I'm sitting there in this place like, I shouldn't be here. This is not me. I'm better than this. And not with a better than this attitude, but just like, girl, you got to get your life. You got to get yourself together. And I'm listening to the conversations of other people in the place, and they're clearly super comfortable being there. And I'm super uncomfortable, but it's what I have to do for me and my child. So get my vouchers. And if you don't know how WIC works, basically, like, it's this, at the time that I was on it, it's like a voucher thing, right? It's like this tan folder, right? And it's trifold, and it tells you what because you can't just, I don't know, I've never been on food stamps. I don't know how they work, but WIC is like a trifold thing, and it has a list of things that you can buy, because you can't just go and buy anything. But it's like fruits, cereals, milk, eggs, things of that nature, but you can only get certain kinds, right? So the first time you get on WIC, you're like, oh my gosh. And so you're going up and down the aisles, and then mine had the trifold, but then it also had this huge poster that you had to open up. So I'm like looking at the poster like, is it that cereal? Is it that ounces? Because it's only a certain size box you can get too. So I'm trying to look and match the stuff up to the poster, but I'm also trying to put my sheet down if people come down the aisle, because I don't want them to know I'm on WIC. So I'm like, ooh, let me open up, right? Oh, let me shut it down. Oh, let me open it up. Is this the right brand? Oh, let me shut it down. So it was interesting. And then when you go to the cashier the first time, you're looking for the cashier that doesn't have a line, because you have a WIC voucher, and you have to pull out the voucher and give it to the cashier. So you're looking for the cashier that doesn't have a line, and you'll go up and down. Or I went up and down looking for somebody who doesn't have a line. I finally found somebody, so then I get in line, and then here comes somebody behind me. So I'm like, dang, they're going to see me pull out the WIC voucher. But I gotta do what I gotta do. So you give it to the cashier. Of course, I got the wrong quantity still, and I had to go put my buggy to the side and go back down the aisle and get there. She's like, no, it's not this, it's this. And she's opening up my big old poster in front of everybody, and I'm like, I don't want anybody to know I'm on WIC. And it was just, it was a lot to take in, and your hormones are already all over the place. And I remember, I never admitted this. Well, my family didn't know I was on WIC. My friends didn't know I was on WIC. And I never told my husband at the time this, but I resented the fact that I had to go get the WIC stuff and he didn't. Like, he didn't know how I felt doing that. I felt less than capable. I just felt horrible. And I was like, you should have to go get some of this stuff and open up the voucher in front of people and let everybody know that we're on WIC, because we both on WIC. But that was my experience. Hey Vanessa, what's going on? Shantae and everybody who's joining. But that was my experience at first. Now, after a few months, just like anything, right? After a while, you don't care. You like, you know what? It is what it is. I need this bread, milk, and cheese. And so you go from hiding the WIC voucher to now you fanning yourself with it in the aisle. You got your favorite WIC cashier. Mine was David at the Publix in Lithonia. That was my boy. I would always go to him. I'd be like, hey, David, yeah, I'm back. Here go my WIC voucher. Bada bada boop. How your day going? So Carlos said, Carlos, he said, can I save this, please? Someone else I know needs to see this. Hey, Carlos Antonio Cafi. Yeah, it'll be on my YouTube channel as well. BetterBodyCrew on YouTube. What's going on, Candy B? So, yeah, you go from hiding the WIC voucher to now you fanning yourself with it. You like, man, it is what it is. I'm on WIC. Don't judge me. You don't know me. You don't know my situation. So, Candy B says, yeah, she used to hide them too. But you know what? You do what you have to do. And so, that was the situation. I was on WIC for it. And then the crazy thing is, you go from being embarrassed about it to now being comfortable with it to now being cozy with it. And cozy is a very dangerous place to be, y'all. So the same people that I used to judge, like, oh, she lazy, she just need to work harder, they just need to stop having babies, they just need to stop doing this and doing that. Now I became one of those people. Because I'm just going to be real with y'all. Because, once you pass the situation, you don't have any pride. I'm like the pastor who used to be on drugs, right? And now I could be like, man, I used to sniff it. I used to shoot it up. I used to eat it. I used to, you ever found out somebody used to do something you didn't think they used to do, and now they have no holds barred, like they let all the cats out the bag because they don't do it anymore. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I went from being embarrassed about it to being comfortable with it to being very cozy with it, to the point where I think you can only be on WIC up until your child is 5 years old. And when Eho, I think he was like 4 or 5 or something like that. And yes, Candy B said the Lord will humble you for sure. Girl, yes, the Lord will humble you for sure. And he really humbled me. So then when Eho was like 4 or 5 years old, by that time they figured, listen, heifer, you need to be on your feet by now. You and your baby got to get off this WIC. And then I remember thinking to myself, oh man, but I'm saving money. I don't want to let the WIC go. I didn't have a choice though. So then I was no longer on WIC, right? And but every time I see a mother with a WIC voucher, I'm always like, it's okay, girl. It's okay. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. But what was I going to say? Okay, so going forward, why am I telling y'all this? I'm telling y'all this because a lot of people, this is something that people never knew about me. If my family members watch this, they'll be surprised about it. It is a time that I look back at and I'm still sad about it, but I'm glad that program was there for me. So again, when I saw this picture this morning about, WIC not being available because of the government shutdown, and then I'm sure there are other things, people are nervous because they are worried about food stamps and different things, and my heart goes out to people because in my particular situation, I was not a lazy person. I had, like I said, I'd always worked multiple jobs. I was college educated. I was married. I was on Dave Ramsey's financial plan, like paying down debt before life hit. And when it hit hard, and the domino effect took effect. I mean, it went from one thing to the next. Like I said, even at the time that I was pregnant, I couldn't even enjoy my pregnancy, y'all, because I was like, this is the worst timing ever. God, how dare you? How dare you, God? I was mad. I was really, really mad at God. I didn't enjoy the pregnancy. It was my husband's first and only child too. And so he and I bumped heads because he was happy that we were finally pregnant and I was not, because I felt less than capable as a mother. It was a lot of emotion going on at the time, and if anybody right now is experiencing that, my heart goes out to them. As a matter of fact, there was an accountability call just this morning, and a business partner friend of mine who has a quote unquote good job, she's a nurse, and she was talking about how she has a baby. I think she said her baby is like eight months old, and she was saying, I can't rush his age. She said, but I think she said he was on Similac. And that's the other thing, y'all. So Eho had tons of allergies, and he had to have a special type of formula, like a special type of formula. And when I say, it would have been like, ooh, about $130 a month for that formula. So if I didn't have WIC, oh my God, I don't know what I would have done. So anyway, going back to this morning, I know I'm all over the place, but you guys know I just turn on Facebook Live and go top of dome. But going back to this morning on our accountability call, which is basically where everybody jumps on and shares real life stories, one of my business partners was saying how her child right now is a few months old, but he takes Similac, and she's just like, I can't wait till he turns 1 so that I don't have to keep buying this Similac so that he can be on milk. And she said, I work hard. I do have a job, but things are expensive. And she said, basically her point was she was glad that she has our business because it's helping her mitigate some of these expenses, chip away at some of these things, because she actually has 2 jobs. That's right. She said, I have 2 jobs, but the pay periods both fall at the same time. So it's not like she gets paid from this job this week and the next job next week. No, the pay periods both fall at the same time. So her business is helping her to meet that time in between, because when you have kids, man, they don't wait on payday for stuff to pop off. They don't wait on payday to get hungry. They don't wait on payday to grow. No, they need new clothes now. They need food now. They need a bunch of stuff right now. So to hear my business partner say that this morning, and to get this picture from my sponsor saying it's really real out there, y'all, don't forget to share this opportunity with people. And then to hear my business partner get on the line and say, my child, I can't wait for him to turn 1, but thank God for this business because it's allowing me to afford some things that I wouldn't be able to afford even with my 2 good jobs in healthcare. She's a nurse, and she's still saying that she needs more money. Y'all, please, number 1, stop judging people that find themselves in a bind, because give it time and you may find yourself in that exact same situation. Number 2, start planning now. I don't like to say for a rainy day, but just plan to take control of your money. I told y'all about my situation 9 years ago when Eho was born. Fast forward to today. I am no longer with who was then my husband. Okay, I recently divorced, and it's crazy because I started this business with my thought process at that time was, he works nights, I work days. We are 2 ships passing in the night. We never see each other. So I said, I want to start this business so that I can, I won't feel the way I felt when I was pregnant with my child. So number 1, I wanted to provide for my child. Number 2, at that time, I wanted to retire my husband. I wanted to replace his income so I could retire him. Now, fast forward 9 years later, and the business is the objective is still to replace his income, but it's not so I can retire him. It's because he's gone. And that's not funny, but that's the truth. So, totally different circumstances 9 years later. And these 9 years have flown by. It's unbelievable to me. But just this weekend, I had to take my son, and I shared this on the call this morning too. I had to take my son to my ex-husband and I. We meet in the middle. And so that is 4 hours out of both of our day each way. Saturday, I take him. Sunday, he takes him. I'm not saying cry for me, Argentina, because he has to drive too. So that's 3-4 hours out of our day on Saturday and Sunday. That's quite a bit of chunk of time out of the weekend. And so I think to myself, wow, if I had a job, I would have to have a job where I could only work during the weekdays, because no job is going to let me be off during the weekend because I got to take my son to meet his father. And I'm not complaining, because I'm so happy that my ex-husband is not a person who's like, well, I divorced you, so I divorced our child too. I'm happy he wants to still be with our son. I'm happy that our son has a father like that. So I'm not complaining. But just think about this from a logistics standpoint, okay? That's a chunk of time that if I have a job, I can't work the weekends. So I would have to have the weekends off. And the only reason why my ex-husband could do it is because he works night. So he got off of work and he drove to me dead tired. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. My point is this. While I was on that drive, guys, I was able to do almost $400 in sales. I did nothing for my business yesterday while I was on the road driving to pick up my son from visiting with his father. But I still had almost $400 in sales. that happen automatically. I mean, these years that it's taken me to build this business, the ridicule that I've experienced by people going, you got a master's degree and you sharing tea? Times must really be hard. Yeah, heifer, times are hard. And times are hard for you too. You just won't admit it, boo. But it's all good. But anyway, the years of ridicule that I've experienced by people, oh, you're a network marketer. Oh, you're doing one of those things. Oh, how's your little business? The years of ridicule that I've experienced has been oh so worth it, because ain't none of those people that used to make fun of me paying none of my bills. None of them were there to give me bread, milk, and cheese and cereal when I was on WIC, when I was pregnant with my child. None of them have no clue how I was making things happen for the majority of my life. And they don't care. I'm not talking about family members or friends. So if you my aunt or my uncle or my cousin, don't get offended and be like, I did care about you, Kimmy. I know. I ain't talking about you. I'm talking about the people that the majority of y'all are worried about, and that you don't want to do a business, or you don't want to post on your business on your page, or you don't want to talk about it because you're worried about what other people think or feel about you. They ain't thinking about you. They don't care about you. They're not going to feed your kid. They're not. They will love you from afar. They may like you from afar, but they're not going to help you. Oh no. They're trying to get their own stuff together. So I didn't want to make this too long, but I did want to jump on here and share, because like I said, that's a part of me that many people do not know, that I was on WIC. Is it something that I am proud of? Not at the time. I'm happy that it was there. Is it something that I'm ashamed of? No. Because it can happen to anybody. And like I said, I am now 39 years old with one kid. And there are some of y'all out here with 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, whatever. And my hat is off to you, because I don't care whether you have a quote unquote good job or not. I don't care whether you have a husband or a wife or not. I don't care. I don't see how y'all do it with multiple kids. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I just want to say that it is a lot, but it can be done. And you just got to be smart with your time. And the best decision I ever made, besides having my son, was putting my pride aside and learning the skills of communicating with people, the value of what it is I have in my hand so well, so that they are happily giving me the money they have in return for the value of my product and or my service. Because that has allowed me to leverage my time, so that while I'm living life, while I am doing what I have to do for myself and my son, I am able to make money on autopilot, in my sleep, in my pajamas, in this room that you guys always see me in. And I'm able to have the time freedom. Last night was Sunday night. There were some people that literally went to sleep with a knot in their stomach, with a headache, thinking about Monday morning. I wasn't one of those people. I slept like a baby. Because I don't have that cloud hanging over me. What is my boss going to think? I need time off. I don't have to worry about that. Do I have other worries as an entrepreneur? Absolutely. But I think it's so worth it. I think it's so worth it to not have to, again, feel ashamed, feel like I can't provide for my son. If I need money today, I can discount some of my products here, take a hit on the profit margin, but I literally can almost print money. I can have money in my bank account in a few moments by hitting the instant deposit button on my freaking Square store. Are you serious? Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Mary, Joseph, all of you. Thank you. I'm Catholic, so yeah. Well, I was raised Catholic, so that's why y'all like, who are Mary and Jesus and Joseph? That's what my grandmother does when she feels something. She'd be like, Mary, Jesus, Joseph. She calls all of them. But anyway, guys, I just want to get off of here. I just wanted to get on here and share that with you all. I hope you found value in my story. I hope that you share this. If you see somebody with a WIC voucher or a food stamp card at the grocery line and they have to go back in the line because they got the wrong thing, man, don't suck your teeth. Don't get an attitude with them. And for all of you men out there, if your woman is on WIC or food stamps, go with her to the grocery store sometime. You pull out the dang on voucher. You hold up the poster and read how many ounces y'all can get together. Okay, help her out. Don't send her there alone. I think that's all. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. But anyway, guys, if you're watching this and you want to know what I do and how I can help you to do it too, Candy B was on here. She said, when I talked about having multiple kids, she said, I got twins. Candy B does have twins, and they're not only twins, they're twins with special needs. My heart goes out to her. She's so much stronger than I ever knew. when I first met her. And last week she had one of her highest selling weeks, and she did it from the comfort of home. She did it while she was working on her smartphone, while she was sitting in the waiting room of one of the therapists, of one of the many therapists that her twins go to every single freaking week. I don't see how she does it. She takes her kids to like 8 or 9 doctors each week. I still haven't even made a dentist appointment for EHO since we've been in the new city. That's not funny. Don't think I'm a bad mother now. I do check his teeth at night. But I'm just saying. Does anybody feel me? Let me go, y'all. If you want to know what I do and how I can help you do it too, reach out to me. Hey, like my girl J Baby Janelle says, she's on my team. She said, get at me.